And honestly, to tell you the truth, this one is kind of a heartbreaker. It the story goes that they did an event at a local park, and they provided a couple hundred chairs and some tables for an event. Dropped everything, got everything set up, dropped it off. Everything was great. The person paid them, whatever the rental thing was. But this particular person was new and wasn't doing any kind of contracts and wasn't doing anything like that, and they left. And when they came back to pick up the unit at the time, at the end of the event, everything was gone. The tables, the chairs, the customer, everything was gone. They had no idea. They didn't even know who the people were, um, and had no idea, you know, where all the stuff had gone. The park did not have any kind of record of a rental for anything like that. It was kind of an open situation where the pavilions were open to whoever got them. So there was really nothing left there. Now, I want to break this into two things. What do you do before and what do you do after? And honestly, before is really easy for, to kind of say, well, you should have done X, Y, and Z. Um, and honestly, these are some valuable lessons. And and if you've been in this business for a while, you always will come to a situation where something goes awry and something is strange or something is just not working out, and the person that is renting it isn't there, and the other person that they sent to meet with you is there, and they're gonna, there's a thousand things that go on when you rent this kind of equipment to people, and what you see when you're out there doing the business. So it's really easy for me to say, oh, you should never do that, you should never do, but you things are different every single rental, every single time, and you don't know until you're in that situation. And you're under a schedule, and you're under scrutiny and time constraints, and all kind of things are going on in your head, and your partners are yelling at you, your other customers are yelling at you when you're going to be here, what's going on in the whole nine yards. So it's one of those things where I can understand where things can get awry and things can go crazy, and you can be kind of caught off guard by the crazy situation that we were in. But you have to protect yourself. Here, first and foremost, people, you have to know the identity of the person that you're renting to. Period. That's just so having a contract, having a legal release, having a liability release, and a signing for ownership or for lease, or however you work it, you have to ID who you're sending this stuff to. And it's not something that you should feel timid about or ashamed about or whatever. This is your equipment, and they are using it, and you don't know them from Adam. So it doesn't matter if you've hurt their feelings because you asked them for ID, or if you want to. No, none of that matters. None of that matters at all. So absolutely ask for ID, especially if you're in a on a piece of property that doesn't belong to the people that you're renting to. And I would go one step further. I take pictures of my setup, and I always try to get the person in the picture somehow, maybe in the background or whatever, that I'm renting to. So at least I have a picture of them as well on top of, whatever they're giving you. So if they provide you with some kind of false ID or something like that, at least you have an actual picture of them. You could take a picture of their license. I take pictures of the vehicle that they're in and the vehicle tag that they're in, because they may give you a fake license, but are they going to have a fake tag on their vehicle? And the more information that you get about this person, the better you are. And always, you should always make sure that you do get that information, because it is very, very important that you can come back later on and say, this is who it was and this is what happened, especially when you're dealing with the police. Now, the police they're only going to do as much as they can do. So sometimes you have to help them along, and that happens when you provide them with information and the things that they need so that they can kind of get it done and move along. So keep that in mind. Anything that you can do to help the police to find these people would definitely be in your best interest. Taking pictures and videos and getting IDs and writing tag numbers and credit card information, and if it's a bank card, that's better than just some kind of weird prepaid card or something like that. I don't even accept the prepaid cards. It has to be something, and it has to have their name on it. I don't do the other stuff. So and keeping all that in mind, as well as you may have to do a little bit of detective work on the other end of it. So after the situation has occurred, what can you do? Check. Our park has a really good camera system, so I would check with them and see if they can provide some kind of video. Our park also has a flock system which catches car tags coming and going from the park. There are convenience stores that are close by that may or may not have video. And again, asking around, asking the people in the area, asking the people that work for the park, all that can be good information, and more information that you put into that, the better off you are. Now, I want to tell you this, and this is probably one of the most important things that I'll say about this, is there used to be an old saying on one of the old police shows, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. And that is important all the way around, because anything that you put in there that is not factual, or that is your feeling, or is it something that can lead not only the police into a different direction and kind of be a false lead or something like that, it can also be something where it is used as a bias on your part. You felt this way because of X, Y, and Z. So don't put any of the other stuff in there that aren't facts. Just the facts is all that you need to put in there. If you heard the lady call one of the other guys that were there by his first name and you remember the name, write that down. If whatever you think would help, but just make sure that it's factual and it's not something that is beyond that. Now you need to start looking as to where it would go. Now, if you were going to sell this stuff, where would you go? Obviously, you'd put it on the marketplace. You'd put it on eBay. You'd call some of the other people in the area that were renting out stuff. You would do that, tons of stuff that lead in that kind of direction. So you need to look in that direction and help the police that way as well. We had a subcontractor that was issued one of our inflatables, and they took it and sold it. and we were able to recover it. But it was our footwork. It was our detective work. It was our getting out there. Actually, it was my wife who found the unit. So in most cases, it's not, I mean, 99.9% of the time, police are not going to go and every time they see a bounce house or a chair or a table or something, go and check the tag and see if it's yours. You're going to have to do that. So what you need to do is try to see if you can, um, mark your equipment in a certain way so that you can readily identify it after the fact, and then look for your stuff, and also kind of put out there that that's the kind of stuff that you're looking for. So anyway, these are the kind of things that you're going to have to do before and after something like this happens. I hope that it doesn't happen to any of y'all. If you guys can think of anything else to add that would be helpful, put it in the comments below. I appreciate you guys. I am glad that you are supporting the channel. Keep on watching, and we will check you in the next one.